The ship Harbinger's wake floated in deep space, far from any known star. Its black metal hull carried scars from old battles. Captain Laura King stood in the command room, staring at the blinking red light on the screen. She was tall, calm, and known for her sharp mind. Her hands were tight behind her back, and her dark eyes watched the signal. "This doesn't feel right," she said. Eli Grant, the weapons expert, leaned on a metal rail behind her. "It's just an old beacon. The place was empty long ago." Maya Quinn, the ship's historian, looked nervous. She had been reading old logs from Kira and found strange words mixed into them. "It's more than that. The signal was turned on recently. Someone had to be there." Tyler Brooks, the pilot, laughed as he spun a pen between his fingers. "Maybe ghosts of the last crew turned it on. Or maybe the queen of the outpost is back from the dead." Laura turned her head. "Enough jokes. Get ready. We're going down." As the shuttle left the ship and flew toward the dark planet, silence fell inside. The outpost came into view. It was covered in dust, metal, torn by storms, towers broken like dead trees. But the lights were still on. They landed just outside the main gate. The doors opened with a slow hiss. Inside, they found no signs of life, only bones and ash. Desks left, as if someone had just stood up from them. Food trays on the floor. Frozen movement. Maya stopped at a wall, where a message was burned into the steel. It said he follows her. When he speaks, burn will come. "Who wrote this?" Maya asked. Laura didn't answer. Her breath was short. Her heart beat faster. In the command room, they found a throne made from helmets. Human helmets. The seat was empty. A broken crown lay at its foot. Laura touched it and saw a flash. A voice in her mind said one word. Ember. She stepped back. Her hands were shaking. "I want everyone back to the shuttle," she ordered. Eli raised a brow. "You afraid of dust now, Captain?" Laura looked at him and said nothing, but her fear was real. Something had heard the name. The shuttle rose slowly from the dead outposts and returned to Harbinger's wake. No one spoke during the flight. The crown Laura had found was locked in a case. Our eyes stayed on it the whole way. The word in her mind stayed clear. Ember. Back on the ship, the crew met in the planning room. A screen showed old data logs from Outpost Kira. Maya sat in front of it, going through files. She looked tired, her hands moving fast, her eyes searching for something. "I found something strange," Maya said. "The outpost was ruled by a queen. Not in name, but in power. Her name was Queen Alira. She was not elected. She was chosen by the people. They followed her like a leader from old Earth stories." Eli leaned back in his chair. "A queen with a crown of helmets. What a story." Laura did not laugh. "Keep reading, Maya." Maya opened a new file. Da-da-da-da-da. A black and white image showed a tall woman with sharp eyes, standing with soldiers behind her. Under the photo were words written by hand. "She tried to stop the project," Maya read. "It betrayed her. She died protecting the last gate. Last order was to lock the lower chamber." Tyler frowned. "What project?" Before Maya could answer, the lights flickered. The ship shook once. Then it stopped. A cold voice came through the speaker. Just one word. Ember. Everyone froze. The voice was human, but deep, slow, and full of power. What? It spoke like a judge giving a final sentence. Eli stood. Was that a recording?
What?
That was live. Alarms began to flash. A new signal was rising from the surface. Not from the outpost, from below it. From the chamber the queen had locked, Maya looked up. Ember is not a place. It's not a weapon, it's a person. Laura closed her eyes for a second. The voice was the same as in her dream. It's the same word that kept coming again and again. Ember. She opened her eyes and gave her order. "We go back down. Full team? Full gear? We find the chamber. And we find what the queen was trying to bury." This time no one joked. No one laughed. They all felt it now. Something was waiting. The team landed again at Outpost Kira. This time they were ready. Laura led the group with a steady hand. Eli carried a heavy rifle. Maya had a pack full of old files and maps. Tyler checked his scanner again and again as they moved through the silent halls. The air inside felt colder than before. Dust hung in the light like smoke. The walls were marked with scratches, handprints, and blood that had turned black. The words burned into steel were everywhere now, the same words repeated again and again. Burn follows the name. Burn follows the voice. They reached the lift at the far end of the base. It had not worked in years, but when Laura stepped close, it turned on. No one touched the panel. The doors opened on their own. They stepped inside. The lift moved down fast. Maya looked at the map in her hand. "This is not on the base plan," she said. "It's deeper than anything marked." The lift stopped. The doors opened into a wide chamber with walls made of black stone. The ground was smooth metal. Strange symbols covered the floor. In the center stood a single chair. It was not a throne, but it looked like one, and it was not empty. A man sat there, still as stone. He wore black armor, cracked and burned. His skin looked pale, almost gray. His eyes were closed. They stepped closer. No one spoke. Then the man's eyes opened. Red light filled the room. Eli raised his rifle. Laura stopped him with a hand. The man looked at each of them. His voice was deep and slow. "You wake the fire? You speak the name? You break the seal." Maya stepped forward. "Are you Ember?" "I was called that," he said. "Now I am only what they made me." Laura stepped closer. "Who made you, your kind?" he said. "The rulers of the stars, the kings without crowns, the cowards with power." He stood. The ground shook under his feet. He was taller than any man they had seen. His eyes burned brighter now. "You are her blood," he said to Laura, "the last daughter, the last key." She felt it inside her. Something old, something strong. Ember looked at her and spoke again. "Do you fear fire, Queen?" Laura stood still. The heat in the chamber was rising. Her skin felt tight, her chest heavy. Ember's eyes stayed on her. It did not move, but it felt like the whole room was pressing down on her. Eli stepped in front of her and raised his rifle. "Back off," he said. "You're not giving orders here." Ember looked at him without fear. "You lift weapons like they matter. Fire does not care about steel." In one quick move, Ember raised his hand. The rifle in Eli's grip turned red and melted. Eli dropped it and stepped back, eyes wide. Tyler pulled his sidearm. "He's not human, is," Maya said. Her voice shook. "Or he was. He's what the project made. They broke him. They burned him. But he lived." Ember looked at Maya. "The girl speaks truth. I was born in war. I was built to win it. Then they feared me. They locked me under stone. The Queen tried to stop it. She failed. Now the blood calls me again." He turned back to Laura. "You wear her face." Laura did not step back. "I'm not her. I never knew her." "But her fire burns in you," Ember said. "And fire knows fire." The ground shook. The symbols on the floor lit up in red. A sound rose from the walls like drums. "They come," Ember said. "The ones who buried me. They followed your signal. They will not speak. They will strike. Like they always do." Outside, the sensors on the shuttle picked up movement. A fleet was coming. Ships with no flags, no calls. Silent but fast. Laura's come buzzed. "Captain," said the voice of the crew member on the Harbinger's wake. "We have company. Unmarked warships." No response. "We are locking shields." Laura looked at Ember. "Did you call them?" "No," he said. "But they fear what I could become, and you hold the key to that fear." He stepped closer, his hand open. "Choose, Queen. Leave me and burn with them, or take your place and rise with me." The heat grew stronger. The chamber light shook. Above them, the sky was no longer safe. Laura's heart beat faster. She knew this choice was the beginning of something far greater than war. Laura stood at the center of the chamber. Her hands were cold, but her chest burned like fire. Ember's hand was still open, waiting. Around her, the lights flashed and the ground shook. He did not take his hand. She looked at him and spoke clearly. "I did not come to rule. I came to find the truth." Ember lowered his hand. "Then you must see it." He turned and walked to the far wall. The stone opened like a door. Behind it was a long hall filled with machines. The walls showed faces, all human. Some young, some old, all lost. "These are the ones who built me," Ember said. "They gave me strength, then feared my will. The queen saw the cost. She tried to stop them. They called her a traitor. Laura walked through the hall. The air was thick. She felt the weight of the past in every step. Eli walked beside her. This was never about war. It was about control. Maya touched one of the panels. A voice came from the machine. It was the queen's voice, calm but broken. They will come for him, the voice said. They will burn everything to keep their secret. If you hear this, then you carry my blood. Do not run. Rise. The recording ended. Laura closed her eyes. She knew now what her dream meant. The fire was not fear. It was a warning. And a gift. Outside, the enemy fleet reached the sky above the outpost. Bright lights lit up the dark clouds. The Harbinger's wake sent a message. Captain, we are under attack. Shields are dropping. We can't hold them. Laura opened her come. Hold the line. We are coming. Ember walked to her side. If you stand with me, they will know fear. If you turn from me, they will destroy you. Laura looked at him. Then we fight together. Ember raised his arm. Flames lit the hall. The machines turned on. Old power flowed through the stone. We return not as shadows, Ember said. We return as fire. The floor split open. A lift rose from below. Inside it stood armor, black and marked with the queen's crest. Laura stepped in. The armor closed around her. Her eyes burned red. The queen had returned. The armor wrapped around Laura like it was made for her. It was heavy, yet her body moved like it had always known this weight. The black metal glowed with red lines that pulsed like a heartbeat. The crest of the queen was on her chest. The chamber around her grew quiet. Even Ember stepped back. You are not her, he said, but the fire knows your name now. Laura walked forward. Her voice was calm, and let them hear it. Outside, the enemy fleet fired on the Harbinger's wake. The shields broke. The hull was hit. Sparks flew in every hallway. The crew fought to keep systems alive. The sky above the outpost turned red. Tyler ran to the shuttle, readying it for flight. Eli and Maya followed, weapons ready. They looked up as the stone above the chamber opened and a platform rose. Laura and Ember stood on it. The heat around them shimmered. Ember lifted his hand. Fire circled him like a storm. Laura raised her arm. The armor lit brighter. A wave of energy burst out and pushed the clouds back. Fly us up, Laura ordered. The shuttle rose fast, cutting through fire and smoke. From the window, Maya watched the enemy ships form a circle in the sky. Their weapons turned toward them. They're locking on us, Tyler said. We won't make it through. Ember stepped to the shuttle door. You will, he jumped. The air shook. Flames shot from his body as he fell toward the enemy ships. He landed on the largest one. It broke in half under his weight. Fire spread through its metal like oil on water. Then the next ship caught fire. Then another. Who is he? Eli said. Laura looked through the glass. He is what they fear. The Harbinger's wake turned and opened fire. The remaining enemy ships returned fire, but now they were not facing one enemy. They were facing two. Laura's shuttle landed back on her ship. She stepped out in full armor. The crew looked at her with wide eyes. She did not speak. She walked to the main deck. Open the weapons vault, she said. The ship's captain looked at her. Under whose command? Laura turned. Her eyes glowed red. Under mine. The vault doors opened with a deep sound. Inside were weapons locked away for years. These were not for normal war. They were made for the worst days. Laura stepped forward and picked up a long rifle marked with the crest of the old queens. No. She checked it once and then looked at the crew. We take the fight to them, she said. No more hiding. No more running. Eli nodded and loaded his gear. About time we hit back. Maya stood close, holding a tablet full of codes. I can guide the power systems. The old fire cores still work. We can push the engines past their limit. Tyler entered the deck. His face was full of smoke, but he smiled. Shuttle is ready. But I vote we fly the big one. Laura looked out the front window. The enemy fleet had lost 5 ships. Ember was still out there, moving from one to the next like a storm. Fire followed him wherever he landed. The sky was full of smoke and broken metal. Laura raised her voice. They called us weak. They thought we forgot, but we remember now. They mocked our fear. Let them taste what they tried to bury. The engines roared as the Harbinger's wake rose. Enemy ships turned toward it, their weapons charged. Bright lights formed across the sky. It was a trap. A wall of fire waited ahead. Laura stood tall. Push forward. The ship moved faster. The shield flared as blasts hit the front. One engine caught fire. Sparks flew. The crew held their ground. Maya sent extra power to the guns. Eli locked targets. Tyler kept the course straight. Ember saw the ship rising. He moved fast and cleared a path with flames and broken steel. One enemy ship tried to stop him, ripped through it like paper. Laura gave the final command. Fire. The ship's main cannon lit up. A red beam cut through the lead enemy ship. It cracked and fell in pieces. Then the rest followed. The sky went quiet. Smoke faded. Fire cooled. And there, above the dead world, the last queen stood. Her armor burned with light. Ember returned to her side. They had not just won a battle, it started a new age.